Hi guys and welcome back to Crypto Chester. My name is Chester and today I'll be giving you a Bitcoin update. First things first, I want to talk about Bitcoin on the short term. Then we go into the midterm, then the long term, and then we're going to be touching on the Bitcoin dominance and then a little bit of the fear and greed index as well. Starting off with Bitcoin on the 1 hourly time frame. As you can see here, we do have this falling wedge pattern, right? This falling wedge pattern, which we have been respecting, right? We've been respecting it to the top side with this downward sloping resistance line coming through. We've got healthy touches, 1, 2, 3, nearly 4 touches coming through. They're very, very good stuff in terms of health, in terms of a chart pattern, and you guys know that I like my attractive chart patterns coming through here. You can see also a nice touch to the bottom side here and also here as well. I mean, ideally at this point in time, we would like another touch to the lower side before bouncing up again. But at this point in time, I am looking at a potential break out of this chart pattern. At this moment, you can see we are actually also in this parallel channel, right? This parallel channel coming through like so. We've got touches to the top side like so here, and a couple of touches to the bottom side coming through. So yeah, not the best thing in the world, but yes, it's still valid due to this pretty dominant level of resistance coming through here, and also this pretty dominant level of support coming through here, which we are currently finding, right? Pretty crucial point right now for Bitcoin on the short term would be to basically hold this zone, which is sat around that 30,543 there in terms of this upward sloping support line. If we don't hold that zone, then it's likely that we are going to come down to the lower side of this falling wedge pattern, and that's going to bring us all the way down to around that 30k sort of zone there. So yeah, pretty dangerous stuff here for Bitcoin. Now, if we are looking for a potential position here for Bitcoin on the shorter term timeframes, right, we would be waiting for us to break out of this falling wedge pattern, either to the top side here or the bottom side coming down like that. If we were breaking to the top side and we did see a nice upward swing, a nice uptrend coming through for Bitcoin, we could be looking at something along the lines of this in terms of a measure move, right? Could be looking at something along the lines of this in terms of a measure move. In terms of percent for that gain, we could be looking at something around a 5% trade, obviously taking into account moving averages and stuff like that. Let me add them into the chart and then we can see if we can get a bit of a better gauge on that as well. So yeah, as you can see here, currently we're under most major moving averages here on the shorter term time frame. So that basically signifies that we are in a pretty strong downtrend, as you can see here. So I wouldn't be surprised if we did actually have continuation to the downside here. But as I said a minute ago, it would be crucial to break this level of support sat at around this 30,546. And obviously we do have another horizontal level of support coming through, and it's actually sat at around that 30,412 there. So yeah, I mean, just saying, like off the bat here, we do have a lot of support holding us up, and that's probably why we are seeing this consolidatory period here, this consolidation period coming through here. But guys, you know what I say here. If we're going to be jumping off the Grand Canyon base jumping, we need these rest periods, right? These consolidation periods before we're going to take another leg down. That's basically what we are doing here now. Now, if I'm just going to bring up the MACD here because there's interesting stuff coming through on the MACD. As you can see, we do have this this uptrend cycle coming through. You can see this pretty dominant trend line to the downside here. So now we know if we are going to get an uptrend, if we're going to get an uptrend here, the likelihood of us getting a level of resistance coming through here on this uptrend is quite likely, right? It's quite likely that we are going to find resistance here, and it's basically going to find resistance on that trend. It's not going to give us any more leg room to basically progress up further in terms of live price action. And that's basically what's happened here in these two pretty abysmal downtrends that uptrends that we've had recently. We've actually seen that resistance play out from this uptrend cycle coming through here on the MACD. So that's definitely something to take into consideration if we do see this bullish crossover coming through here and that uptrend coming through. Right now, if we do see this uptrend coming through and we don't, and we lose, and the resistance, and we don't see the resistance playing out here, it's likely we are gonna see a new sort of trend cycle coming through, and that's obviously gonna have a nice spike in the price, giving us the momentum to the upside. But with that being said, guys, we're gonna need to be breaking through this horizontal level of support, the 31,131 there, and then also the top side of this rising wedge, which would signify a potential long position to take into consideration there. But at this point in time, for me, guys, I don't think we are going to be breaking through to this top side anytime soon. And my reasoning for this is if we jump to the RSI quickly. Obviously we do have this horizontal at 59.97. As you can see, the resistance is Viva resistance is futile from this zone, right? My reasoning for the continuation of this trend is we do have a hidden bearish divergence coming through here in terms of the price, in terms of the RSI on the shorter term time frame. That basically means, guys, that we're going to have the continuation of the trend which we're currently seeing, and unfortunately, guys, that does mean a continuation of the downtrend. So yeah, that would be my reasoning for that coming through. But as I said there, on the shorter term time frames, it would be crucial that we watch this zone, this 30,500 sort of zone there, and hopefully we can get a bounce off there. But if not, guys, I wouldn't be surprised if we did lose these zones and come down. In terms of a safety net, in terms of this falling wedge pattern, if we are going to have that continuation to the downside, we do have this downward sloping support line coming through, and that's sat at around that 29,896 there. So yeah, we do have a safety net there, but let's go on the basis that we lose that, right? We lose the level of support that we've got there. And then we're looking for a potential short position coming through here, guys. And that's probably going to look something along the lines of this if we do see this imminent break of these supports coming through. And then we basically take that and we move that down to the lower side here and basically determine some sort of potential short position we could be looking at here. And that's basically something potentially looking along the lines of this, around at 4.8%. So near enough the same as the upswing there, guys. So yeah, definitely something to take into consideration here if we are going to break to the downside here for Bitcoin. But I would be cautious on entry because we do have this horizontal level of support of this 29,225 there, and also the volume weighted ATR band. And yeah, it is pretty much in line with this. It's dead in line with this candle body close of this previous dirty crash there. So yeah, a few things to take into consideration there on the short-term time frame there. That's basically summed up. Let me jump to the mid-term time frame for you guys. As you can see, guys, the OGs on the channel, we know that we've been discussing this falling parallel channel for quite a while. We've been in it for quite a while, right? And we were looking for a lovely juicy long position on the retest coming through it, but unfortunately no, we dumped down, as you guys know, and we saw this insane crash to the downside, right? We saw an absolute low of that 28,800. Scary stuff here. But if we are going to see the continuation to the downside here, guys, as I was saying on the shorter term time frames there, then we would be looking to have to break this downward sloping support line currently, and that's at around that 30k zone there. And if we're referencing the shorter term time frames there, if we're going to get to that 30k zone, that does line up pretty well with the lower side of this falling wedge there. So that would be a key point to watch there if we are going to break that zone to the downside there, guys. So yeah, that would be a key point to watch. And also, if we do break that to the downside, I mean, I don't want to be drawing a measure move in terms of a short position down there, but let's just go on the basis that we're obviously going to go on the most recent downtrend coming through there. Obviously, it's pretty horrific, guys. Pretty horrific, bringing us all the way down to 23k there. I'm not saying that's going to happen straight away. I'm saying, look, it's a possibility. We did set a new lower low here in terms of the previous lower low. So yes, we are in a dirty downtrend. We are in this dirty bear market coming through. So yeah, not good stuff coming through here. But yeah, crucial point to watch, as I was just saying there, would be that 30,000 zone, and it would be in line with this downward sloping support line currently on this parallel channel coming through there. And then yes, this would be the potential short position to the downside from there. I mean, personally, it's too undecided to be taking a short like this big, right? It's too undecided to be taking a short, shorting Bitcoin 22%, nearly 23% there. So yeah, for me, it's not something that I would be touching. I'm more inclined to go on the shorter term timeframes for now, just because it's pretty unpredictable on these longer term timeframes. Just because for me at this point in time, ideally, if I was a whale and we just set this lower low, I would be setting a higher low, and I'd be pumping the price further up, right? I'd be pumping the price further up, another higher low, again, another higher low, again, and then dumping the price yet again to create another lower low, getting everyone bullish back in these zones again, getting everyone bullish again, and then dumping the price and basically just accumulating that paper, right? Just accumulating that paper. Yeah, in terms of what's happening on the RSI for the midterm here for Bitcoin, we need to take into account, right, as I was saying here on the shorter term timeframes, if we are going to see the continuation to the downside around that test of around that 30k zone, if we do see that happen, we need to think about the RSI here on the 4 hourly here. The reasoning for that is, guys, is because if we do see this sell-off happen, the continuation of the downtrend, it's likely that we are going to see us get to that oversold sort of point on the RSI here, guys. And we know what happens when we get to the oversold sort of point. We have that buyback, right? We have that buyback. So that's a bit of an initiation moment that we are going to have. Initiation that we are going to have some sort of bounce off around the 30k sort of zone there. So yeah, it would be definitely a point to watch there, the RSI on the 4 hourly time frame. Now, bringing up the MACD here. Bringing up the MACD on the 4 hourly, the midterm coming through here, and we do have this level of support coming through. Obviously, we take into account for spillage, right? Spillage over the trends. So as you can see here, we do have this cycle coming through here. So if we are going to see this downtrend play out, we need to take into account this level of support coming through here, because if we do see this spillage come over, we're likely to see a bit more of a support point coming through, probably around this zone here. around that 348 there zone if we do see that spillage come over before we have that bounce back, and that does correlate pretty well with the RSI and being that oversold point as well. Now, in terms of what's happening here on the uptrend sort of side of things here, we do have this uptrend cycle coming through, which is in fact it is pretty positive indeed, right? It is pretty positive indeed. I think it's better like that, right? Yeah, it's pretty positive indeed, because we do have a lot of room for an uptrend to come through. If we do see an uptrend come through, we do see that bullish crossover play out later on in history, probably around this zone here, then it's likely we are going to see an uptrend come through, and we are going to have the resistance coming through off this zone here on the MACD, right? So yeah, this would be a zone to watch if we do enter that uptrend, in terms of a reversal in the trend there, in terms of the resistance coming through for Bitcoin, and that's in terms of live price action for the prediction of where that could be. That's probably going to be after we bounce off that 30k zone and potentially come back up and test this 31 sort of zone here. So something probably along the lines of, well, that's a bit too low actually, so we probably along the lines of that, and then bouncing up something along the lines of this, and then we're probably going to see a reversal in the trend yet again from around the zone that we're currently at there, guys. So yeah, a few things to take into consideration there for Bitcoin. Let me jump to the longer term time frame here. Because the longer term time frame, obviously we've got this falling channel which we've been discussing for quite a while. I did actually get in a nice little short position coming through here as we left the trap zone of this symmetrical triangle. Let me delete this channel so it's a bit more visually appealing for you guys there, and I'll get rid of these moving averages as well. So yeah, as you can see here, we do have the symmetrical triangle playing out, and we have been playing it for quite a while, right? And we did lose it, right? I was hoping on this retest, and we saw the dump. I wasn't going to enter in this actually, no, I think I made a trade previous to that, right? I made a nice little 3% there the other day, right? But I was waiting for another short position as we came out of this trap zone here, this upwards sloping resistance line. We came up, we retested, I entered my short there, a nice tight stop loss coming through there. And then I basically shorted it down and got a nice take profit at the completion of this measure move coming down like so, right? And that sat at around that 4.29% there gain for Bitcoin in terms of my short position coming through there. Now, in terms of what's happening right now for Bitcoin, let me bring up some moving averages and the volume weighted ATR band on the daily, right? You can see this volume weighted ATR band. It's pretty reliable in terms of a level of support, guys. It's pretty reliable in terms of a level of support, and that does correlate pretty well with around that 30k zone. So yeah, let's jump back to the shorter term time frames here. If we are going to see the lower side of this price channel get tested, that's a bounce at that 30k zone, correlating with the RSI coming through here, and also on the shorter term time frames as well. We are going to see, if we are going to see the breaks of these crucial levels of support, the bounce is looking pretty good at this 30k zone of this falling wedge pattern here. So yeah, 30k is a pretty strong bounce point I'm looking for here, guys. So yeah, it's definitely something to think about here for Bitcoin. We did have this death cross coming through, and we have seen a pretty big surge to the downside in the price. But yeah, I wouldn't be just taking a death cross like we're going to just dump off a cliff continuously, right? And as I was saying previously, if you are a whale, you want to be creating higher lows here continuously to the upside here to trap people in and making them feel a bit more bullish, and then dumping the price for a further lower low, continuing that bear market trend that we are looking. I hate to say that we are looking at this point in time there, guys. In terms of the Bitcoin dominance right now, this is interesting stuff here, guys, because we were talking about this the last time I was live here. We were talking about this in terms of a bounce point, in terms of the altcoins having a progressive move up here. Sorry, a progressive move down here, because the altcoins were pumping, because with the Bitcoin dominance here, if people are moving their money from the altcoins into Bitcoin, we're going to see a surge in the price here, and then obviously the altcoins are going to come down from that stage there. So yeah, that's basically what happened here. We were grinding along this level of support coming through here. So yeah, we did have this parallel channel coming through here, and we were looking for a measure move to the top side here, looking something else a bit rough, something along the lines of this, right, a bit lower actually. So yeah, we did see the completion of that measure move. So for me now, I am going to be getting rid of these trend lines, and I'm going to be drawing a new chart pattern coming through here for the Bitcoin dominance, because this gives us a bit of an idea, right? A bit of an idea of what we think could be happening here with the altcoins and with Bitcoin in terms of the live price, right? We do have this this descending triangle playing out here, guys. We do have a descending triangle playing out here in terms of the Bitcoin dominance. So we do need to take into consideration, if we are going to break to the upside, it's obviously going to be pulling the altcoins down, right? It's going to be pulling the altcoins down for a significant amount of time. If we are going to do a measure move like so, we're going to be pulling them down for maybe literally like another 2 days or so, maybe the whole weekend, if we are to break to the upside, right? Now, if we are to break to the downside, if we're going to see the resistance play off this zone here on the Bitcoin dominance, then you can bank that your altcoins are going to be trickling up for a while, right? They're going to be trickling up for a while, because then the next test zone is going to be the lower side of this ascending triangle coming through here, and that's at around that 46 there. And that's pretty much Bitcoin dominance summed up there. But I would be looking at these crucial points to get a determination on the price of your alts and your portfolio targets from there, guys. So yeah, fear and greed index right now. Yesterday we were at 27, a bit more hope in the air, but right now it's back down to 20, guys. So everyone's pretty scared, probably because it's a weekend as well. Yeah, just summing up on the weekend, it is a weekend, guys. So trade safe and be very cautious, because it's very trappy in the air, very trappy in the air. But yeah, that is going to be it from me, guys. I have to excuse me, I'm pretty ill, as a lot of you guys know here. So I have to just pull through and give you that content, guys. But yeah, appreciate you all coming through and watching the vid, and hope you all have a good weekend and trade safe out there. But for now, it is peace out and goodbye from me, Crypto Chester.